Hello. I hope I can say hello again because these videos build on each other and it helps to have seen the prior videos. In the first video, you checked whether you were more of a visual learner or an auditory learner, relating to whether your left or your right hemisphere is more dominant. Remember, if your eyes went right in answer to my question, your left hemisphere was being stimulated, and you're probably an auditory learner. And if your eyes went left in answer to my question, your right hemisphere was being stimulated, and you're probably a visual learner. And if your eyes went up or down, you're probably a kinesthetic learner. And I gave you hints to help your reading according to what kind of learner you are. Now let's move to body coordination and your reading. You can pause the video and make a checklist like the one I've shown. And we're going to check you on which eye is dominant, which ear is dominant, which hand and foot. So I'll help you check all of these when you come back together. Let's check which of your eyes is more dominant. Make a hole in a piece of paper and look at something through the hole as you bring the paper back to your eye. Are you using your right eye or your left eye? A dominant right eye suggests left hemisphere dominance, and a dominant left eye suggests right hemisphere dominance. It's also interesting to note which of your ears and hands are dominant. Have a TV going in the other room. Close the door in the room where you are and put your ear to the door to see if you can hear the TV. Which ear did you use? Using your right ear suggests left hemisphere dominance. Using your left ear suggests right hemisphere dominance. Which hand do you use to write? If you use a straight right hand, that indicates your left hemisphere dominance. If you use a straight left hand, that indicates your right hemisphere dominance. But if you hook the hand and have the tip of the pencil pointing down, called inverting, that means the opposite. Research has shown that a left hand inverting is the same as a straight right hand and indicates left hemisphere dominance. And an inverted right hand is the same as a straight left hand and indicates right hemisphere dominance on you. This is an aside regarding hand dominance. Remember, language is in the left hemisphere for most right-handed people. We will talk later about most communication between the brain and body being developed in infancy. But this hand coordination may have been developed as you started coloring and writing, and someone may have encouraged you to use a certain hand. Normally, a right hand and eye would indicate left brain dominance, but your inverted pencil may indicate that your original preference was the opposite hand. See if that opposite eye is dominant. If you're inverting to the left, is your left eye dominant or vice versa? Don't attempt to switch hand dominance. Just accept that inverted hand. But we will discuss switching eye dominance later. We have talked about your eye, ear, and hand dominance. Think about which foot you use. Step out or kick a ball. And finish marking your chart. The reason you need all this information about yourself is because research says we need to be dominant on one side or the other to have a dominant language center in the opposite hemisphere of the brain. Most of us are right side dominant. Therefore, we have a strong language center in our left hemisphere. But it's okay to be left side dominant because it is possible to have your language center in the right hemisphere. Look at your checklist. Do you have mixed dominance? Some right, some left? There's a belief that that can cause reading problems, and I found this true with my own students. If you have mixed dominance, it's possible to correct that. But as I said earlier, I don't suggest that you change the dominant hand. It's easier to change the weak eye and ear. However, I don't suggest that you try to change these on left-handed people or a left-handed child. They may be ambidextrous and have no reading problem at all. Remember, we're talking about those with reading problems. So you have to decide what you want to do to help. You can strengthen your weak eye on your own by using an eye patch over the stronger eye, some each day. There are vision clinics that work with this. I had students whose parents worked on this at home, having the child wear an eye patch in the afternoons until the weaker eye became stronger. They even used earplugs the same way to strengthen the weak ear. In the third video, we will check your body coordination, since this has been found to influence brain development and influence reading. Start observing how your body moves when you walk. Does only your bottom half move? Or does only one side move at a time? Or do the opposite arms and legs move together? I will explain next time what each of these means and how to improve this if there is a problem, and why it's so important to reading. I'm glad you've come, and I hope to see you next time.